There's a crazy conversation going on right now in the black community. College better than trade school, or is trade school better than college? I want to know what you guys think. But as we get ready, today is Freedom Fridays. Y'all know every Freedom Friday, or excuse me, every Friday we do Freedom Fridays here with the Black Wealth Rebel Show. I'm Kamari. We got Corey here. Jimmy is out in the nebula somewhere, so you know I'm going to slander the mess out of him, and we're going to have all kinds of fun with that. But what's up today, Corey?
Man, I'm out here living, man. Going through changes. How Tupac said, going through changes.
I see no changes.
All I see is racist faces.
Yep. Yep. So let me share the clip that I for us today to start the show off. Since he's not here, I'll play it again when he comes back later on. But I want to know what you think about this, Corey. And by the way, Corey, I gotta preface this. I'm expecting you to be totally on my side today. So it's Team Mar today. Forget Jimmy. He's not here.
I don't know what you're talking about. First of all, I'm on my side. I don't know about what side you're talking about. I'm on my side.
All right. Well, check this out.
All right.
Just want to say something real quick, just really on some real shit, like some real black man shit. I'm too old to do the pause, no homo shit. You brothers look good.
Yes.
You really do. Y'all look preserved. Y'all look healthy. Y'all look happy. Y'all look aligned. I just want to tell y'all that.
Thank you so
real
much.
shit. Real shit.
So Jimmy shared that with us. Got to give him credit for finding it. But y'all know I absolutely feel that way. And to read this brother's comment, it says, "To my straight brothers of all ages, take note from this man, because nothing makes y'all more suspect than inserting pause and no homo into a statement. I want that trend to go away forever. It's unnecessary. It's okay to compliment another black man." What you got for that, Core? You on mute. Hold on.
Oh, I mean, I said, I guess.
We know you don't agree.
I don't really care. I mean, I don't care either way. I mean, I know a lot of people do care, but I ain't one of those people who care either way. Do your thing. That's what you want to do. Do your thing.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if that's how they feel, I guess.
More bad. You don't feel no kind of way. You ain't got no ends.
I don't feel even, because for the people who offended, all right, you offended. And for the people, who say it and use it all the time, okay.
So be it.
So bad.
All right.
You can't make that much noise, brother.
Into the show. Make sure y'all come into the room, speak. Y'all know we all come in black households. When you come into the house, you got to speak. So first up is Jigga. What up? Happy Friday. All right, Cedric. Thank you. $4 super sticker. Appreciate that. Lorraine's in the building. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. While y'all are getting settled in for this beautiful show we about to have, make sure y'all like, comment, and share. Share it out with some people who want some enlightened black man intellectual conversation. So bring them all in the room, y'all. Now, I don't know if y'all been noticing, but I've been going live more on my Finance Rebel channel. And there was a clip that I shared yesterday that I'm going to share in a minute. And there's another clip that ties into this as well. And it's about this issue of college versus trade school. And I want to know what y'all think. Is college better than trade school? Is trade school better than college? Go ahead and throw it in the chat. I want to hear what you think. But as we get going with this, let me remove this one thing, because y'all know I've been having technical difficulties. So I'm trying to do some other things to battle around that. All right. So let's see here. And it would help if I could find my clips, y'all. because I had them. They were right here. And now they're gone. Where did they go? Where did they go? All right. Well, as I find this, let me share this real quick. Our community is sleeping on one of the highest paying careers in America. It's not tech. It's not healthcare. It's life insurance. And here's the twist. You don't have to sell near one life insurance policy to get to the bag. The industry runs on roles that nobody ever really put us up on. Claim specialists, underwriters, business and data analysts, tech and cybersecurity people, marketing and project managers. We talking real salaries, real benefits, real mobility. And the best part, these roles are all accessible to you. Young folks, career changes, adults looking for real stability. That's why Saturday, December 6th, at our next Saturday school installation, we are having a life insurance executive by the name of Darren Miller, who's worked in the industry for decades, coming here to let us know the opportunities there and how you can break into the insurance world and build real wealth, long-term wealth, even generational wealth. And listen, this whole session is free. I'm not going to charge you a penny. Just come, learn some things, get some food. We're going to have food and have a good time. And so it's important that everybody register because we need a head count in order to feed everybody. So remember to go to bthcamp.com, bthcamp.com. And we are going to be at Faith Chapel Church, which is in the Germantown section of Philadelphia. It is at 108 East Price Street, 108 East Price Street, 9 to 12 this Saturday. So bring your friends, bring teens, bring youth, bring adults. We've had people in there as young as newborns all the way up to 80 years old. We don't discriminate. We're just here for the community overall. Does that meet your approval, Corey?
100%. 100%, man. We out here really doing we out here doing our thing, man. And tomorrow morning is another chance for us to show the community the love and for the community to show that love back. You know, we always talk about Black love, so this is what it really is. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That is a fact. So listen, everybody that's watching, especially those who are in the Philadelphia area, we need your help. We need to get more people to know about this. We are at Faith Chapel Church every first Saturday of the month. It's a community setting, but it's geared towards the youth. We're teaching youth how to be young millionaires. All right, just to make it simple and plain. And we're doing that by teaching them financial concepts that have cultural relevancy all at the same time. Because it doesn't matter if we got a bunch of Black millionaires if they ain't got no Black culture. But, you know, nobody wants to talk about that, though. So, all righty. All right. So I found one clip, and I will bring it up right now. Bring that up right now. There it is.
Hey guys, Tesla Figaro here. You remember this guy that came out and said that AI is going to need electricians and plumbers because they're building all of these warehouses?
Now, before we get going, that guy that she is talking about is the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang. I might be saying his name wrong. Do I got it right, Corey?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, they're going to need plumbers. Somebody's going to have to do the building. And I remember it being shared of saying, yep, that's what it is, guys. Plumbers is the way to go. Well, I just wanted to stop by and give you some data. Now, this guy, he is not from China, so I want to be clear about that, but he's obviously of Asian descent. I wanted to kind of Google because I said it's so interesting because I've never encountered an Asian plumber. Not saying that there's not Asian plumbers, but I just don't see a whole lot of Asian plumbers. So I was curious to see how many in China are their children being told that the way to go is to be a plumber. So just thought I would share the information with you. In China, as of 2023, 6.7 million undergraduates, college students, study to become engineers. 36% of all students in China choose to be an engineer. Now, if in case you've been living under a rock, because I think this is something we all know, that many immigrants that come to America may work in skilled jobs, but they tell their children that they only have three options: doctor, lawyer, or engineer. That's just a fact. I don't see the push to be a plumber. Now, again, nothing wrong with being a plumber, nothing wrong with being an electrician, nothing wrong with any of those things. But I thought it was important that when somebody from a particular community says what my community should be doing, I always want to know if you're telling your community the same thing. And the data just doesn't show it. Now, you can go look this up on ChatGPT yourself. I even Googled to see how many plumbers are in China. And did you know that China doesn't even define plumbing as an occupation? They don't even call it an occupation. And there's no data that can even show how many plumbers are actually in China. Another important fact that you should know, only 3% of engineers are black. 3%. Another fact you should know, of all U.S. attorneys, only 5% are black. We have 68,000 black licensed attorneys, not even 100,000 attorneys. However, in the content creation space, there are over 200 million content creators of all races. There's over 4 million podcasts. So I just want to put the data in your mind, since there's a constant conversation about just be a podcaster, just be a content creator, just monetize on YouTube, and not enough information on just be an engineer, just get into STEM, just be a doctor, just be a lawyer. Just thought you may want to have the stats. So it seems it's quite clear. Do you want our children to be the engineers that program the AI robots? Or do you want our children to be the plumbers and the electricians that build the warehouses that the robots occupy? I think China has made the decision quite clear what side they want their children to be on. And for those of you that can't wait to comment, what about those student loans? I say, what about them? You get a loan for everything else. You get a loan for a car that immediately loses its value the moment you drive it off the lot. You pay rent. That's just like throwing money out the window. You go get cash advance loans. You spend money on everything else, largest consumers in the country, for things that hold no value. But all of a sudden, when it comes down to investing in yourself for an education, now all of a sudden you're fiscal Fred, and now you're so against loans. If there's one thing that I'm going to get a loan for, I'm going to bet on myself, because it's something that they could never take away from me. And guess what? If I don't qualify for income deferment, if I can't get a payment arrangements, then just like we say with every other bill collector that call your house, fuck those loans. This has been Teslin Figaro. Like I always say, use it, lose it. Can't make you choose it. Peace.
That was Teslin Figaro. She said her name. She's one of my favorite political commentators. She's not Democrat. She's not Republican. She used to work for Bernie. And I think a lot of times she hits spot on with a lot of things. Now, I do have one more clip I want to share with you guys. And then I want to have a discussion, because I think this is a discussion we need to have. And I want a real discussion, not just hyperbolic type stuff. I want to have a real discussion. So go ahead, throw your comments in the chat already. Now check this one out.
This wave and this push to black boys to not worry about college and just get a trade. Why is it an either or situation when it comes to black children? Why can't they do both? Nobody tells white kids or wealthy kids to just get a trade and not worry about college. But all of a sudden, when it comes to black children, college is unnecessary. College is a scam, and their only option is to go into labor. Yes, there are honorable, high-paying trades that are essential. However, when you get these trades and you're out there and you're in competition with other people for those leadership roles, 9 times out of 10, they're going to give it to the person that is college educated. Telling our boys to only get trades is not empowerment, it's limitation. All of it should be on the table. The issue isn't education. The issue is lack of opportunity, lack of resources, lack of exposure, lack of representation for black boys. And we don't fix that by removing college altogether.
All right, Corey, I see you shaking your head. Let's go. What you got?
Man, both of those people are misguided. They're good, but they're misguided. And I'll
say what?
You only as good as the people around you, right? And so what they're talking about is college and all of that kind of stuff. But that's not the full community, right? So we've done 50, 60 years of college with Black women being the major, they're the most educated people in this country. Nobody has more college degrees than Black women. But the discrimination ain't going nowhere just because, she wanted to go away. It's not happening that way. So in her in both of those young women's, misguided attempt to talk about college, as much as the trades ain't getting us nowhere, neither has college. So what do you want? You know what I mean? Like, she espousing college like it's the greatest thing that ever happened to us, but there's no more educated people in this country than Black women, and their salaries still look like ass. So what you want? You know what I mean? It's systemic. It don't have anything to do with whether college or trade. It has everything to do with, can you build something sustainable for the people who look like you? And whether that's through college or through trades is neither here nor there. You know what I mean? Can we build something sustainable stuff for our community? Period.
Define sustainable.
Things that we own and that we can protect. Because if you can't protect it, it's not yours.
Okay, so what's the route? So is it college or is it trades?
There's no one route. There's not a route.
But you just said the one lady was misspoken.
Because she just said that we should all be engineers, doctors, and whatever. And the other lady said that we should stop telling our kids to be tradesmen and tradespeople and work toward college and it shouldn't all go one way. It's not all going one way. It's not. College isn't the answer to everything. College isn't the answer to everything. Just the same that being a tradesperson isn't the answer to everything. It's more nuanced than that. There's no nuance in their commentary.
Hold on. So the sister, the secondary sister clearly said that. And I believe the first sister said that. But the second sister, the second sister clearly said that.
No, she did. I'm talking about the first one.
No, I think she did. I think in her presentation, you might have missed it. And we can run them back.
No, she said it. But what I'm saying is she didn't say, you know what I mean? Like, what she didn't say was, there was no nuance in it. Like, she was just saying, stop telling these boys that and all that. Like, I don't like that message. Like,
so I think there was nuance in it. But all right, I'm gonna withhold my commentary, but I want to get to the people. All right, so I know we got the Lorraine. All right, GC says, yeah, I think it may be time for me to start accumulating some Amazon. All right, so we wanted that Amazon stock. By the way, did y'all see Carvana is now going to be on the S&P 500? Did y'all see that Netflix is making power moves out there? I still don't fully understand that deal. I got to dig into it, but it looked like they're buying Warner Brothers and Comcast is in the mix, but there's a lot of stuff going on with that, but I definitely we'll talk about that as well. What's up? New Strand Grant. Where's New Strand? I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I'm tired, y'all. Adrian. What up, Adrian? All right. Dina. I don't think college is for everyone. If you're not academically inclined, why bother? A trade or some other skill may be best, or they are lucrative many times. Dina comes through with the $10 super chat. It's $9.99 super chat. Appreciate that super duper much.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, with the advancement of AI, the options for trade should definitely be considered more seriously this day and age versus past 25 years. All right, that's what Jigga got in. All right, Babs Bunny, 2010. Good evening. What up? How you doing? All right, Jigga says, was the NVIDIA guy speaking specifically to the black community, or did she grab that insinuation out of the thin air? I wouldn't say he was speaking specifically to the black community, but I remember it, and there was some black community is type stuff. But I get what she's saying as well. We definitely going to run these back. We're going to run these back. Yeah, I get what she's saying. However, the trades have engineers. Okay. GC also says it's really a situational thing. What works best for you is what you should do. It depends on what your objectives are. Okay. Lorraine says depending on the student, trade school is a better option. Okay. If they're decisive about their choice, profession, and it requires a degree, go for it. Many of our kids don't have a clue. I suggest trade. All right. Warren Man, good evening to you. All right, Ray Gunn with the $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. All right, Adrian says, I agree with the second lady. Bye. All right, GC says, where to go? GC says, opportunity cost. All right, opportunity cost. Right,
listen, I tell people this story all the time. Me and my cousin graduated the same year. He went to Dobbins, I went to Central.
Let me get to the rest of these. Hold on.
I'm listening.
Well, I believe that if they're not good students, college is a waste, in my honest opinion, Adrian. All right. So we got some debate going back and forth in the chat. Steve says at some point, folks, we realize it's the system. Okay. Jigga says, where's the message being directed only towards Blacks youth? I've only seen the trade message as an option pushed universally due to a declining general labor workforce, AI advancement and loans. But I will say this, I see for the Black folks, largely we're saying we're very anti-college, in my opinion. That's what I am seeing. All right. And no, the message is not being directed to just Black kids. All right. Adrian says, what are we going to college for, though? That's one of the determining factors for salary. That's a fact.
Yeah. So it all depends on what you go to school for which is why when these immigrant people come into the country, they say this is why you can only be these certain things because they're looking at salary.
Yep.
Which is okay if that's how you feel. But my thing is, community isn't all about, like, you can't build a community with just smart people, and you can't build a community with just tradesmen. It's all encompassing. And so that's one of my things. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you got all these smart people who can think about infrastructure, but who's going to actually build it? Who's the muscle?
All right. Walmart moves to the NASDAQ on Tuesday and have been printing money. Okay. They've been printing money. They move like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
What are you about to say? Oh, I thought you were about to say something. All right. Steve says, why don't folks think you have to
be smart?
You're a tradesman. You need to be able to read and do a decent level of math. LOL.
Yes, you do. There's a test.
All right, living in Knoxville, a majority white population, I see more white men in construction and trade as a majority of upper middle ballers who support the local economy than anybody. I mean, just for the unions, right? We're on the East Coast. I'm not sure what the union situation looks in Knoxville, but white folks have always dominated the trades. They've always dominated the union. So I'm not surprised by that at all. All right. Also, with AI, someone still has to run and create things in the background.
Straight up.
Steve, not necessarily. Okay. Sims Ryan, I'm about 3 minutes behind, so my responses might be, that's fine. That's fine.
That's all good.
And trade school is not free, and folks don't finish because they can't read and do math.
It's just like college.
Yep, that is a problem too. Still Rock says, all depends on the student. Some people fail trade school as well. Some of the students just aren't mature enough, don't have the study habits, aren't self-starters. That's a fact. Hell, I'm not a military advocate, but if someone floating aimlessly in life, that may be That may even be an option due to the educational grants, home assistance, healthcare, retirement, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
All right, Steve says, and if you live below the Mason-Dixon, tradesmen making minimum wage. That is true.
Yeah, that's gangster.
Down south is a totally different beast than up north. All right, Star Rock says some students might need to work jobs, learn more about themselves, find out what they're passionate about first. Tradesmen are smart as well.
So I'm gonna tell you 2 stories about tradesmen in my family. 2 people about
Now,
that.
Hold you. So I still had to reply to that. So I think they're both right. And I think they're both talking about something that I don't think y'all are really picking up on. So with the first one with Tesla, she says, as a community, why are we pushing other communities, whether they're Asian? By the way, Jensen Hong was born in Taiwan, and then he moved to the United States pretty young. So I would say he is an American at this point. But he's worth like what, $150 billion?
Yeah, he worth more than the GDP of most small countries.
Something crazy, right? But the reason why I would say many Asian folks, as Corey said earlier, is that they are pushing doctors, lawyers, engineers because of income and status. It's not just income, it's income and status, y'all.
Yep.
And I think that's something that we have to talk about, because when you look at this, I know we're talking about college and it hasn't worked, but when you look at many of the people who have pushed for Black equality, many of them were college trained. Many of them were law school engineers or doctors, right? Thurgood Marshall is a great example of that, right? We need Black lawyers. Many of the advancements in our community, the Black community, were a result of Black lawyers. You need Black lawyers. We're going to fight for advancement in this country. Should everybody be a lawyer? No. But I also agree with Corey too. Like, everybody can't do, the brain lifting, but we're always going to need somebody to do the muscle lifting. So I think it's a fine line. And I believe both of them said that, but I can see why everybody feels Tesla kind of lean towards college. Second sister, I agree with her. It doesn't have to be an either or. And I don't think that we have to limit tradespeople to not getting college degrees either. They can do both, right? They can do both.
So again, out of the 10 people I know that make the most, money when I was growing up, like 9 of them never seen a college campus, right? Mm-hmm. And so this is why I have an opinion on this, right? That is a little bit skewed, right? So as a kid, my mom said, "You're going to college, regardless of what you want," because everybody. If I didn't graduate college, I would have been the first person in my house not to graduate from college. But the people in my household and in my not my household, but the people in my family that made the most money never seen the college campus. Mm-hmm. My uncle, who worked for the post office, made a gang of money. My brother, he dropped out of school at 16, became a barber. Then when he turned 18, became a truck driver. Never made less than $75,000 since he was 16 years old. my cousin, who graduated the same year I did, he went to Lincoln Technical Institute, and he started working for what's now T-Mobile. And he started back in the 1990s building the infrastructure for one of the companies that T-Mobile took over. And now he's a supervisor. And I think his starting salary begins with a 4, right?
Current salary.
I mean, current salary. His starting salary was $75K in the 90s when $75K he was 19 years old making $75,000 a year.
So I know he was balling.
Like balling. And so what I'm saying, my grandmother was a seamstress. My grandmother owned 6 houses. You see what I'm saying? So it's not my grandmother never saw a college campus. My grandmother was a seamstress. So what I'm saying to you is my grandmother pushed college, and my uncles and my aunts, they all had college degrees, but they didn't make the most money in my family. The tradespeople made the most money in my family.
So that's
Right.
interesting, right? Because I see lawyers who make half a million. I know plumbers who make $500 million.
I know contractors right now that make more than people who work. Man, they make way more than I do, and I make a good amount of money. Kamari, you know almost exactly how much money I make, and they make way more than I do.
How much money you make?
Well, I mean, generally, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a teacher, so you know what I mean. Like, I make a couple dollars every week. But they out here outdoing me by 10 because they have a trade that's going to pay them in a whole different way. And the other people, like my cousin Celeste, she never saw a college campus. She went straight into the military. She retired at 40. She retired at 40 with a full pension, making like 5-6K a month back in the early 2000s. Me and my cousin Celeste she like 12 or 13 years older than me. So, I used to always call her my auntie, but she my cousin. And she went to the military when I was a kid. When I turned 18 in 1995, she was ready to retire. And then she retired when I got out the military in 2002, she retired that same year. And in 2002, she was only like 40 something. I was 23. She was like 30 something. Like she retired in early 2000s. And so what I'm saying is my cousin Celeste, she never saw a college campus. What I'm saying is the people in my family who went to college, they made our, like my uncle went to college. He used to run be a regional manager for Petco. I went to college. I'm a teacher. My auntie went to college. They were teachers. My mom was an accountant. But they didn't make more money than my other excuse me. They didn't make more money than my other family. My mom did estate accounting. My mom never made more than $70,000 a year because she worked for a company. She worked for she used to work for the bank. My aunt was a teacher. She never made more than $80,000 in her entire life. My brother was making more money than my mom at 16. Cutting hair.
Should that be the determinant of college versus trade school? The money that's made?
I'm just saying, my brother had a noble trade. It wasn't like he was out there slinging crack and coke. He was out there, he cut hair. He was the neighborhood barber. And he was making more money than my mom was making. My mom was at work all day, and my brother was actually at work all day in the basement of my house cutting hair. But what I'm saying is, if it's about money and prestige, my brother was the neighborhood barber. Everybody loved my brother.
I was about to say,
barbers have a lot of prestige in black neighborhoods.
Barbers and hairstylists are the center of black communities.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, is so I don't know.
All right. So Lorraine says folks in my circle are not pushing trades instead of college. Okay. All right, Adrian, that's true. But they place a high value on education, period, along with a lot of Africans. Can we say the same about BC anymore? Who's B? Who's
Black
BC?
community.
Oh, black community. Oh, I should know that. Flag on the play. Kids in other cultures get to try different things and fail before one thing takes off.
That's not true. Not in those Asian cultures, and definitely not in African cultures. If they don't go into what they family want them to go into, they be on their edge.
And I mean, the other thing too, talking about some Asian cultures, it would be disingenuous for me to act like there isn't a pecking order, because a lot of times you kind of get picked where you get to go on the upper echelon of education based on.
And the reason I know that is I went to high school. I went to a academically prestigious high school with a bunch of Asian kids.
He went to a gang school, yo.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like my school was like 25% Asian, and all of them was being pushed into the careers that you're talking about. None of them were smarter than I was. But the thing is, their family was like, you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, and this is why you're in this school.
All right, so GC said, yeah, most of the wealthiest people I know personally did not go to college. I mean, so listen, we can do the whole anecdotal thing all day long.
I mean, listen, the stats say people that go to college make more money. 80%, they make 88% more money over time. So this is not, if it's a money thing, the people that go to college make more money over time. But what I'm saying is, in my personal life, that's not what I've seen for Black people.
I would say in my personal life, I've seen a mix of both. And I mean, I would almost say the people that went to college make more money, but also I'm probably not the person you want to question, because I see everybody's stuff, right? So I get a mix of everything. So I see rich people who dropped out of high school who have $1 million plus in real estate, and not just, net worth. I'm talking about getting to the money, and they dropped out of high school. But then I also know lawyers who will do a deal that make your eyes blink in a heartbeat, and they're getting 7-8 figures sometimes. So it really depends. It really depends. All right, so what we got? We got that one. We got that one. All right. Yeah, started business and accumulated assets that made them positive returns over time. Okay. Yeah. Also, one thing I've observed as well, other cultures have their kids working super early. Yeah, I would say that's a fair generalization.
Yeah.
They are building skills that they will use in adulthood. Absolutely. I mean, I hated it, but my dad made me work early. That's why I don't have a problem with work. Now, I do feel it might have been a little overboard, but I appreciate it, because what you saying, Corey?
I said you funny. Your pop had you out there on the stroll earlier. He had you out there on the stroll.
If you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't work, you don't get no money. Whether it's basic things like clean. I never forget when I would go to school, go to his office. I had to clean the toilets. I had to sweep. I used to hate sweeping. I ain't so much care about the toilets. I ain't want nobody to see me sweeping. But I guess I don't care about none of that stuff now. Right. So he broke away all that bullshit conditioning I was thinking about. So I will admit to that, right? Kids don't know what they don't know. So
people saw me sweeping every morning. Before I went to school, I had to help my grandmother clean up the block we lived on.
But it's funny now when I go to my office, and it drives me crazy, because I live near Borden Alley. I live not too far where Corey went to high school at, so he can understand this. All the trash from Borden Alley blows down about 2 or 3 blocks in front of my office, and it drives me crazy, because a lot of times people don't come out and sweep. But my pop made me sweep all the time. It's like, have pride in where you are at. So I appreciate it to this day. I appreciate it. All right, would you say she's skewing stats? Because in the majority of Asian and Indian countries, they aren't all they aren't all engineers, doctors, etc. They're a gang of farmers and street merchants. That is very true, Jigga. But also, let's not act like China and India, because she brought up China, she didn't bring up India. They both changed their educational system to generate more engineers and more tech workers and more computer workers. So they did that from a country standpoint. And yeah, they got people at the bottom, economic bottom, right? I'm not judging them. But they also are pushing hard for people to get educated. Like, on the low, now this is not something I do right now. India is cornering the accounting and tax market right now. Most of your big 6 firms, they are outsourcing their tax preparation and much of their bookkeeping to, it's like this one sector in India. So they are going after these jobs, and it's not just AI, y'all. I mean, it's global competition as well, along with AI. But, I believe we have to be able to adjust and adapt and think about the bigger picture. So we do need, I said this yesterday, for college, we do need representation there, because when Black folks are not there in college, we don't get to these societal building and foundational professions, engineering, law, medicine. So who's going to be there to represent and protect Black folks? Because Black infant mortality is still an issue. But discrimination of blacks in the law is still an issue. How much representation of black folks in engineering is present? I don't see a whole lot. So, I don't think it's an either or. I think it's a both type thing. And I think she was Tesla that is the first one. She was just trying to say, listen, we know we're going to get the people at the bottom because everybody can't go to the so-called top, right? Everybody can't make it to the bottom. But why should we just settle? Because how many of y'all do y'all know a lot of young black geniuses that never even think about going to colleges? And they are college material. I know a lot, y'all. And again, I'm not saying that they have to go to college, they have to do this, but I think they should have the opportunity to make the choice for themselves and just say, they're black, they're dumb, they're not qualified. And I feel like a lot of times that's what it is out there. I mean, do you think I'm off kilter, Corey? What do you think?
Not at all.
I mean, man, listen, Corey, tell you, we have geniuses that come through our doors, man. And it's like, yes, you should be in college. And it's a couple of them, it's like, you're probably not college material at all. It don't make you dumb, because here's the other thing.
It doesn't.
You need a level of discipline to do anything. And some things you need more discipline. Like my son's at school right now, he's rejiggering all his classes because he don't want to get up early. But he know his ass got to get up early for right now. So that takes a level of discipline. We know a lot of people that go to college and they won't get up. No matter how much money was spent, they won't get their ass up out of bed. And they just like, oh, well, the money's just going to be lost. And actually, I don't even know if they think about the money being lost. They just like, I ain't going. I ain't going.
It's funny.
I ain't going. All right, Adrian says, I guess it depends on your circle. Most of the people I know do very well are college educated. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
75K in the 90s. My trick budget would have been crazy. All right.
For sure. His was because I told you about my exploits in places where women like to dress with very, very little on.
Yep.
I had a lot of experience in those places, and me and him were very close.
You were an entertainment entrepreneur, man.
They were entertainment entrepreneurs. I was a spectator.
No, but on the establishment where people were spectating.
I didn't own anything, bro.
I got it wrong. Okay, my bad.
I ain't own anything. So I did own those establishments as I got older. I owned a bar and I owned a spot where you could go, where people could do that. But that's not something I owned when I was at that age. Gotcha. So yes, I did own a bar, and those things did go on at my establishment. But
so
I won't be,
you became an entertainment entrepreneur. See, I wasn't wrong.
Yes, because no, you were not wrong. But that's not where I started.
I got ROI. I lost a lot, so now I got to get some of this back.
Yeah, man, I was trying to recoup. I was trying to recoup big time.
All right, LeBron says this country does have a deficit in tradesmen. That is a fact. HVAC workers. I'm having a problem with my HVAC people now. Well, not my people, but my systems. Plumbers, electricians, carpenters, etc., are honorable professions. It still depends on the student. I mean, I do agree with that. And listen, I think all of it's honorable. I think a barber's honorable. And listen, the barber, before there was mental health and therapy, that was the road he was doing. Whether you want to give them credit or not, I know barber probably done saved a lot of people's lives. And that, matter of fact, Corey, right? He said the barbershop in his neighborhood was Switzerland. I know that. I know that's true in a lot of people. You can't.
The barbershop was the safe place. You can't do nothing in and around the barbershop, man. Because everybody got it used to be the barbershop in the church.
Yep. But it's neither of them now. But
it's neither one now. It's just everything is everything. Everybody on free fall say, hey.
What's up? All right, level the earth. I'm 21. What should I do? Level the earth. I can't tell you what you should do. What I will say is you should do it with people that know you, that love you, that truly honor you, and start having these conversations. And then they can help you try to pack. Should you go to trade school? Now I'm gonna tell y'all what my mentor told me, and I think this is applicable. He said everybody should have a trade, a skill, a trade or skill, right? And then if they want to go to college, great, because while they're in college, they can then use that trade to pay for themselves, and so they don't have to live destitute. And I think that's one of the most practical things, to approach this, because some people love to do either or. I don't think it's really either or. You don't have to do either or.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this, and people think I'm crazy. My dad got a college degree. He met my mom in college, which is how I got here. But he didn't make the most of his money from the degree he got. My dad did used to work for ExxonMobil, and he used to be like a regional manager. So he made a lot of money in the 80s and 90s when I grew up. But that's not where he made the most money at. My dad made most of his money from junk hauling. My dad gave up jobs, that regional manager jobs and all of that stuff, to do junk hauling. My dad to this day is doing junk hauling. To this day.
And then wrong with that.
And so literally people will pile up junk in his crib. He will take it to the scrap yard. Him and my brother, before my brother passed away this year, used to put it on the back of the truck, take it to the scrap heap. My
condolences. I don't know if everybody knew that.
Him and my brother would take it to the scrap heap, and my dad was making like $3,000 a week scrapping metal. Like scrapping metal. You want to talk about honorable professions, stuff that people don't want to do. My dad that was more than he was making at ExxonMobil. You do the math on $3,000 a week, junk haul.
$12,000 a month. Dina says, I work in an oil refinery. The operators out in the plant make over $55 an hour. They do quite a bit of.
He was making that kind of money doing junk hauling.
150,000 and 200,000 a year is average. No degree required. And so, Dina, I'm guessing you're probably in like Texas, somewhere where it's oil heavy.
Yep, that's what my cousins do down there.
Or Louisiana. I know Mississippi a little bit.
Yeah, they all work. They all work in the oil field, not in the oil fields or refineries. So they schedule crazy because they work. They do 2 weeks at the refinery and then they off for 2 weeks.
Gotcha. All right,
so they don't even work. They only work 2 weeks a month.
Cedric says trades get you the money quicker. College gets you the money over a longer period of time. Sometimes.
Yeah, that all depends. It all depends on who in your circle, and that's what I was trying to say. Right, your environment determines all of that.
All right, so Still Rock says, but in those Asian cultures, those parents will pretty much support them while they become lawyers, doctors, nurses. A lot of our Black families can't fully support the kids while in school.
That's true.
That's somewhat true, right? Because listen, y'all, I want y'all to realize we are having a generalized conversation, and it's okay that, but you got to recognize it's generalized. It's a lot of Asian folks that's poor as I don't know what.
Yeah, for sure. But what I'm saying is that parental support is
goes a long way,
crazy long way.
Yeah. All right. DC said, yeah, and regardless of whatever the situation was, they got to a certain level of wealth due to asset accumulation.
Yep. And that's the name of the game.
Yep. Ownership is always going to be the key. I'll say this: unity in ownership will always be the key.
Yeah.
You both. Again, wealth is a team sport. We have been tricked out of the bag, y'all, because anytime you see any really massive wealth, it's normally a team, whether it's a board of directors, a team of partners, shareholders. They share money, they share IP, aka intellectual property, to figure out ways to get money, multiply money, and then rinse and repeat and do it again. You can study that, and I would debate that, argue that with anybody. But honestly, it doesn't need to be debated or argued because you can go research that.
Them's the facts.
Yep. All right. So because some of our Black families can't support the student, I got that one already, I believe, right? Yeah. Of those, okay, I think
No. It says because some of our Black families can't support our students like some of the other cultures, This makes this trade college more important for us. Those Asian kids can fully dedicate to their studies. And so that's partly true, right? Because environment is everything, right? So if you grow up in a chaotic environment, it's hard to study, it's hard to focus. They say our kids have ADHD. It's not ADHD. It's just so much chaos going on in their lives. It's very hard for them to focus. And that's not ADHD. That's environmental chaos. That's environmental trauma affecting the way that they can learn. And so that's like all these ADHD prognoses. Most of them aren't ADHD. Most of them is just straight up chaos going on in these environments. And these kids are adapting to that chaos and bringing it wherever they go.
All right, Still Rods, I believe you're asking me this question. Do you think working with your dad made you a better student? No, it did not. So here's a something I want to admit publicly. I was a terrible student K-12, y'all. Terrible. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. I didn't apply myself because I'll be honest, I believe I wasn't in the right environment to be stimulated, but I had the ability to do it. And I don't know that I really realized that I was a real student or really liked to learn, even though I always read and was into stuff. It didn't click for me until I hit college. So I went to college. After I had some jobs, because not just working with my dad, I had some jobs. I got kicked in my butt, got smacked around, and then I went back to school because I figured out what I wanted to do. So, sometimes it takes that. And I believe one of the worst things that happens in this country is we send high school people that's 17 and 18 years old directly to college. I think that's the worst ever.
They're not ready yet. They're not emotionally, physically, or academically ready to be in college.
Nope. And I believe I believe so. I had to figure that out.
I went straight to college. That was the worst decision of my life. I went to college, ended up having to go to the military in my 20s. And then when I came back from the military, I understood exactly what I wanted to do. But coming out of high school, I wanted to play football, and my grades were so terrible that I went to the top academic high school in the country, and my grades were terrible. And Jim will tell you why my grades were terrible. I can tell you why my grades were terrible.
We've said
I never went to class. But
still pass the test. Corey's too smart for his own good.
So this is what I used to tell my teachers. If you're going to read me the book, I don't need to come to class. I can read. That's how I got here. Why am I in class? If you're going to lecture and teach from the book, I never need to come to your class. So I can read.
You don't think there's no perspective, angle, or process?
Nope. Because there's nothing you can offer me if you're going to read and teach from the book. Nothing. I can read. Because all I'm going to do, I'm reading the book for the test anyway. I'm not learning anything from your class.
Okay. All right. Cedric asks, trades may be better for the Black community because they're harder to automate and are recession proof. Well, that's not true. College is general, doesn't have the same level of security. I would venture to say we are going to have automated cars. We already have automated cars. We have drone delivery. How safe do you think a lot of these trades are? Now, what I will is, if you think about the picks and shovels philosophy, right? So all my investors, listen, we still talk about money, so we can relate everything to money, picks and shovels. But during the gold rush, everybody was going to mine for gold. Levi Strauss, they made jeans. Other picks and shovels companies gave the mining workers the products and tools and the services to support that, right? So AI is going to need picks and shovels. Everybody might want to try to go out and do chips and create a data center. Somebody's going to need to cool that data center. Somebody's going to need to wire that data center, at least for now.
The data center is going to need land. You just buy the land and sell it to them.
Yeah, you're going to need land. You're going to need all kinds of stuff to support that. So I think the picks and shovel play for AI is going to be more beneficial than actual AI itself. But that's just That's just my thought. All right, China has engineering programs for sciences that don't even exist anywhere else. Yeah, and we're seeing that some of the products that they're coming out with. I mean, because listen, China was just copying stuff for a long time. Now they're innovating. They are changing the.
Well, and that's but the whole point is it's cultural, right? The thing is, we, especially as Americans, we create cultural things, but we don't create culture. Because if we created culture, then the way that we live in the United States would be totally different. We don't create culture. We create cultural things. The culture is created by people who win wars. We haven't won a war in a long time. So we don't create culture. Not for the general populace.
So some Ryan says the second lady made the comment that it shouldn't be either or, but both, in which I agree with. If the child has a skill set, okay, did I miss that? Okay, this is continued. All right, I guess it cut off. All right, so I guess you're trying to say that if the child has a skill set, why not do both?
So, as an educator, I have a problem with that part, right? Because again, this is all environmental, right? Most of your greatest skill set people were given their skill at a very early young age. They were given a skill and told what they're going to do and what they want to be, which is why culturally, why Asian people and African people do the things that they do, because they know what I just told you. The people who are best at things learned how to do it early. Why was Floyd Mayweather one of the greatest boxers of all time?
Because of his daddy.
Why Stephen Curry the greatest shooter of all time?
Because of his daddy. Then we go with Tiger Woods. Then we go
Serena Williams.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they were given a skill at a very early age, and what I'm saying is you can do that with any skill. So it doesn't. This is why I don't believe this. That's why I believe this conversation is we're having the conversation about it for children too late. That we should be having this conversation when they're 6 instead of when they're 16, 17, 18 about to go into college.
I mean, listen,
we should decide what our community needs and then create those people for our community.
I mean, Minister Farrakhan has been saying that for quite some time.
That's why the college versus trade thing really don't move me in the same way it move a lot of other people, because I think it's a moot point. Because by the time they get there, it's either too late or too early, because they haven't decided what they want to do, and nobody gave them something that they could do. Like, your best musicians, your best architects, your best everything, or somebody gave that to them as a child. They set up underneath the wing of somebody, your best haircut people, your best stylists, whoever you want to say. They set up under the wing of somebody when they were very young. And that's how they became great, because they've been doing it a long time. They've been doing it the right way for a long time.
Gotcha.
And so, I think the conversation is kind of moot, because I think if they don't have a skill that you gave them by that time, then you need to let people, then you have to let them decide what you want them to do. You know what I mean? That's why those Asian cultures, and they tell them straight from when they're 5, you're going to be one of those 3 things. And that's what they steer them to. And that's why we're having this conversation. That's what the first lady was actually talking about. But I don't agree with her point about guiding them away from being whatever. I think you can do that with any trade or any skill.
All right, so
that's why I was disagreeing with her, not because she was.
It sounds like you're agreeing with her, but okay.
No, I was disagreeing with her because she's saying we should steer them into the same places and stop steering them away from. She's like, they don't steer their kids into this. They don't steer their kids into these things. So fuck what they steer. Why do I care? Why the fuck do I care what they steer their kids into? We should steer our kids into what we want. We should address our community needs with our children.
Oh, but she's saying the same thing you're saying. She's saying they're addressing their community needs.
That's not a community need, because you don't need all doctors, lawyers, and you don't need all doctors, lawyers, and engineers.
But no,
they're not addressing all of their community needs with that.
But you still need that to make sure
you do need those people. And I'm not saying we should steer our kids away from that. What I'm saying is there's only a certain percentage of those people that we need. And so we should let the children who have that aptitude go into that, and we should steer the other children into other community needs that we have, and then help them develop that for our communities. And we should give it to them instead of just saying you get to decide, you could be what you want to be. That is one of the weirdest things about this culture that I really don't like, especially about school culture. You could be anything you want to be. Yes, you can be anything you want to be, but you should be. There's not enough exposure to the things that they could be for that statement to be true.
All right, so Jigga says, I do know a few years back, there was a grave lack of Black representation in tech, IT, coding, cybersecurity sector versus Indian representation in dominations via nepotism. That's still true to this day. I don't know if I've ever told y'all this. I used to be a Microsoft certified engineer. I worked in the IT space at a pretty high level. I used to work on routers and switches and servers. And matter of fact, even when I went back to school at Temple, the Indians ran that joint. And it was all nepotism. It was all nepotism. So, you know, we complain about nepotism, but that's just the way of the world. That is just the way of the world. All right, Adrian says the educational system needs to be overhauled. I agree. And until it happens, education needs to be overhauled at home. I agree with that. Like, education does absolutely start at home. Now, and we had this conversation in the village the other day. I don't know at a mass scale how well our community would fare at that, though. Corey thinks I'm crazy when I say that, though.
At mass scale, we would fail at what?
Education right now, because of so many things being against us.
So it's cultural, right? So we don't place a high importance on education. And so culturally, until we place a high volume on education, this is what we get. And we let the people who are oppressing us teach us. And so that's why our education looks the way it looks. So, you know, I don't want to get on the soapbox, because being in education, I have some listen to me. What? I have some very strong things to say about the education system and the way children are educated in this country. And if I get on the soapbox, listen, man, we already been here for an hour, and my young boy is not very happy with me right now.
Okay, all right, family first. All right, let me get through a couple of these.
So that's why I'm not soapboxing.
Okay, I have no jokes to that for that. You just shut me down, brother. All right, Sims Ryan says, I have 5 children. Congrats to you, brother. And some of my kids are displaying the interests and skill sets that would align with college. And one in particular, has made it very clear trade school is the way he is headed. Okay, salutes to you, salutes to him. Yeah. Education starts at home. If the parents can't read, the kids probably won't be able to read too.
That is all facts.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I don't know if y'all peeping on this. Steve is actually talking about what's going on in a lot of places right now. And that's cultural to the whole country, and that's not specific to Black people. I know, but this is a Black show. We're going to talk about Black people.
Just saying, but that statement right there is why. That statement right there is why we have the president that we have right now.
That is correct. That is correct. And even when you look at his base, most of them do not have a college degree. All right, so Cedric just made a valid point. I think the main factor is education and skill set as a passion versus recession-proofing yourself. Those are the determining factors nowadays. I think that's always been a determining factor now. Shelby CEO, what up, man? You took a break from TikTok? You want to hang out with us on the YouTubies? All right, everybody. Everybody is like the TikTok god now, y'all. He over there killing it. All right, so Ryan says college is useless if the market says your degree is useless.
Yep.
Okay, but what if the market says I'm a quantum theorist, mathematics type god?
There's probably about 30 jobs on the planet that actually require a college degree. The rest of them could be done with what's the joints you get from the state where they give you the rest of them could be done with certification. There's about 30 jobs on the planet that actually require a degree.
All right, so college is useless if the market says your degree is useless, i.e. the salary you earn by the skills you got from the degree. But the same is said about certain trades as well that don't pay as much. Okay.
Yep.
All right, Steve says all work is honorable. I agree with that.
Except for investment bankers.
I mean, because investment bankers muck up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they do. They are straight sharks, bro.
And a lot of hedge funds and a lot of venture capitalists as well.
Yeah, man.
All right, Lorraine says in order for more of our kids to go into those fields, more parents must get involved in their kids' early education. Current educational system is not designed for STEM, IT, legal, or medical pros because education as a whole don't really care about us common kids getting into STEM, IT, legal, or medical professions. I'm just saying they don't care. All I'm really saying is they don't really care about us. That's all I gotta say.
That's a Michael Jackson song, by the way.
Shout out to Mike Jack, RIP. Pimps got better morals than bankers.
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree 1,050%.
I'm between
1,050% agree with that statement. That might be the statement of the night. Pimps got better morals than bankers, and I 100,000% agree with that statement.
All right, turn it into watch for the most. All right, tuning.
That was the go with the other part, with like the continuation joint.
Okay, blessing and condolences to you and your family, Cora.
Man, listen, man, I appreciate that all the time, man.
All right, Dina's in Chicago. All right, she's in a shot. They're pushing trade so hard because there is such a high need.
Yes, there is.
They say that for every 3 tradesmen that retire, they're only being replaced by one new
young tradesman or tradeswoman.
But here's the thing. Nobody's really talking about this. It's the same thing in the medical field. I talk to my doctor about it all the time. Same things happen in the medical field. So we're screwed kind of either way. Most definitely for some are poor. A walk through Chinatown in Chicago will let you know that listen, a walk through any Chinatown in any city.
A walk through any neighborhood in any place that's not like super rich will tell you that.
If you walk through Chinatown at night, man, it just seems like a major influx of homeless or unhoused. I believe the correct saying now is unhoused. Unhoused people are homeless down there. It's wild. Like, if you ever go down there like at 3 o'clock in the morning, it'd be looking crazy out there.
Kamari, don't tell me. No, let me shut up, man. What you doing in Chinatown at 3 o'clock in the morning, bro? See, you almost made me. See, you almost turned me into Jimmy for a second, bro. Because what the hell are you doing in Chinatown at 3 a.m.? Anyway, read the rest of the comments before I say something stupid, man. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Ain't nothing wrong with me, man. I'll be outside, man.
Yes, you do be outside. If you in Chinatown at 3 a.m., yes, the hell you do be outside. What's wrong with you, man? What are you doing in Chinatown at 3 a.m., man?
What type of skills do you have? What are your interests? All right, great. That was that, Dina. All right. Another great career option is railroad conductor. They start at $80K and no degree required. I agree with that. All right. So Still Rock says, I tried to get my little bro to consider being a cop, 911 dispatcher, fireman, call center, etc., can be done just with a diploma. And then they can take a class at a time or figure out what he wants. I agree. I have a lot of family that are police and fire, especially here in Philly. You have a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money.
That's the one career my grandmother said I cannot do.
Police or fire?
No, just policeman. You cannot be a cop.
Yeah.
Not in the family I grew up in. That was not allowed.
That would put your eyes with your folks.
Yeah. She was like, it's a conflict of interest and you can't be involved in that.
All right, Steve says it takes parents steering the kids early. Nobody is good at math naturally. I've seen some young kids good at math early.
I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the last comment. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Steve is wilding, bro.
Okay. All right. Data governance, privacy, and GRC. What's GRC? Are needed for many, if not all, industries. These are good careers and one I'm looking into. All right. All right. The Joy, what up? What up? What up? Happy Friday. All right, Jarrell, what up? What up?
What's going on, Jarrell?
Jarrell saying respect, Corey. All right, we don't have any doctors or lawyers or engineers either.
I mean,
that's what I was just saying.
I have all black doctors, and my lawyers are also all black. But there is a shortage of those people because only reason that I've always had those people in my life is because my lawyer, when I first came out of out of college, was my college roommate, and now my attorney, if anything was to go wrong in my life, would be Courtney Richardson, and she's definitely black.
Shout out to Courtney. So you listen, me and Courtney have an appointment on Monday morning. So you're saying of what the economy and the community need.
Yes.
One way to go.
We should as a community decide what we need and then create our children, create our community to fill those needs. That's what every other community that owns their IP and their property, that's what they do. They decide what they need and then they create those people into their community. That's what China has done for the last. China starting in 1980 to right now, that 45-year span, that's all they've done. That's literally all they've done. They decided what they needed for their community, and then they built those people over the last 45 years. Right, and that's how they caught up and passed the United States in 45 years.
LaJoy says, I think you need both, depending on the reason you're in. Now, hold on, let me finish, Cora. Now I see the youth and young adults focusing on trade school to be financially secure and stable, and then going on to college later in life to pursue their passions. What were you about to say, Cora?
It didn't say for the reasons, it said for the seasons.
Oh, did it? Okay, I believe you. My bad. We definitely need more doctors. Yes, we do.
Agree.
Yes,
I agree.
We need more black doctors. All right. What's up to you, Jarrell? How's the baby?
What's going on, Jarrell?
How's your bouncing baby boy? Your masculine child you got there. All right. The educational system teaches us to work for others and not ourselves. Yeah, because your family's supposed to teach you to work for yourself. I think a lot of times we put too much emphasis on the educational system.
I agree with that also.
System, it's supposed to be the system. It is operating the way it's supposed to operate. Yeah. We gotta operate the way we need to operate. And I mean, if y'all don't understand that, then I don't know what to tell y'all. All right, companies make a good point. All right, excuse me. Corey makes a good point about addressing community needs. La Cosa Nostra is a good example of this at a micro level. Yep. I agree. All right. Are you giving them skills at an early age or identifying skills at a young age?
Either or, right? If there is an easily identifiable skill, then you cultivate that. But if there's not an easily identifiable skill, give them one. Because most of the things you learn that you take through your life, you learn before you turn 9 years old.
All right, Steve says, we're talking about the kids. It's the parents.
100%. But listen to what I just said as an educator about your education. 90% of the stuff that you use as an adult, you learn before you turn 9 years old.
Say that again, Cora.
90% of the stuff you use as an adult, you learn before you turn 9.
And why does that matter?
Because that's why I say this conversation is happening too late. Because we need to identify and start giving them the skills while rapid development is happening before you turn 9 years old.
Well, it's not too late.
What I'm saying is, listen to me. Rapid development happens between birth and 9 years old.
And which is why 2 days ago.
Huh?
Jarrell just had a baby like 2 days ago. So this is perfect timing, fam.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if rapid development is happening between birth and 9 years old, that's why they're giving them the skills, and that's why what we were saying is true about the Tiger Woods, the Serena Williams, the Stephen Currys, and the Floyd Mayweathers, and people like that. Is because they learned their skills during their rapid development phase.
Okay.
And you see what I'm saying? And you see how that cultivates into adulthood.
All right. So LaJoy says children are coming in being 4 to 5 years behind the kindergarten. You're required to know your name, spell and write, count, identify numbers 1 to 30, know all the consonant and vowel sounds, know your phone number and address, and can do this in more than one mode, write, oral, via tech, or assistive technology and visual. So the babies are coming in under-equipped. I think that's been known as well, but that's something we haven't really talked about. So that's an issue. All right. Sim says, I say that because using my oldest son as an example again, if I looked at him at an early age and said, you have 3 options, doctor, lawyer, or engineer, I would not be setting him up for success.
That's not true. Because if you would have gave him that during rapid development, he would excel at whatever you gave him, because he's your son and because he has that in him to do.
All right, Brenda, welcome. I'm a garbage man in San Francisco, $200K guaranteed. I'm guessing that's
garbage is never going anywhere. You'll never be out of work.
Never. Only one thing open in Chinatown at 3 a.m.
He's like E-Honda. That's why I was laughing at earlier. Yo.
I'm gonna have to Google E-Honda.
Yo, E-Honda is, oh my, you gotta Google E-Honda. Whoa, stop the show. Google E-Honda.
No,
How mad at you have to Google E-Honda?
Listen, man, I wasn't outside back then. I'm outside now.
What you talk about? It's from the biggest video game of our childhood.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was okay. I got you now.
Right, what video game is it from, Kamari?
The Karate John, but the fat sumo bowl.
Ken and Ryu.
All right, so Jarrell says, what are you doing there at 3 a.m.? What is wrong with you? It's 3 a.m.
You had an extra $40. Come on, that's what I'm saying. What you throwing the Chinatown at 3 a.m., bro?
I have heard.
You are not.
Got great washy spots at 3 a.m., man. Leave me alone. Black men need stress reliefs. It's called self-care. Self-care
is wild. Self-care is wild.
Listen, it is self-care.
I'm not mad at you. This is not me slandering you at all. I'm just saying that is a wild statement.
All right. Dina says, I have a bio degree, but working chemical laboratory. Okay. So you saying I'm smart. All right. Congrats. My entire family are either teachers, nurses, and or accountants. That shit makes for an interesting Thanksgiving dinner. Awesome. All right. So Sim says, but since he was about 3, he has shown a more natural draw to hands-on. So me and my wife started putting him in and around trades as much as possible. We identified the skill set and are cultivating it. But here's
exactly. If you identify it.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. Because you're hands-on, you can't be an engineer.
He just said you put him around the trades. That's engineering.
Not always.
I guess.
And there are all kinds of engineers these days. You got environmental engineers, you got janitorial engineers.
Yeah.
And I'm joking about that, but pursuing your passions will have you broke. It can, but sometimes it'll have you super rich too. But I would say those that get super rich are a small majority. All right, Lorraine says the system will not change for our benefit.
Never.
Families will need to change.
All facts, Lorraine. All the facts.
Right. And so it's funny. We're talking about this because Jim, Corey, and myself yesterday had a conversation in the village. I believe that video will be dropping over the weekend or next week. But it's talking about how people are buying homes now. and how there's a need for change. But for all of y'all in the village, go check that out. Go check that out because I want to hear what y'all have to say. All right, the modern education system is built to train factory workers.
That's exactly what is built and training these young people to be factory workers.
This conversation should occur before people have children. Ooh, that's
bars.
That's a bar. Before people have children, but we know how that goes. Listen, biology supersedes all of that logic. I'll just say that. All right, Jarrell says, how do you direct the youngins on a certain career path without feeling like you're overdoing that dream?
You can't. You can't feel like you're not overdoing it, because my thing is this, right? What you have to do is build habits, right? If you build habits during rapid development, those are the habits that your children will have, right? And so the birth to age 9 is when you learn when you learn what's right and wrong. It's where you learn, if you can manipulate or how to manipulate people. It's where you learn your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s, when you learn to walk. Like when I say it's the rapid development time, is when you're being hit with a lot of things and you're learning it at a rapid rate. And it's also the time when your brain is growing at the most rapid rate. So if your brain is growing at a rapid rate and you have a lot of stimuli at a rapid rate, then that's the time where you need to be teaching most of the skills, right? Yeah, so when I say rapid development, that's what I mean.
Look at the term overdoing it, though, right? Because I've seen you
with feeling like you're overdoing
it. Right, but what I'm saying is I've seen you with youth. You approach things in different ways. You say them in different ways. You have the same point. You reiterate it in different ways. So I don't know if that's necessarily overdoing it, though.
So what I'm saying to you is,
well, not you. I'm just saying
your feelings are going to feel like you're overdoing. But when you're building skills, sometimes I feel like I'm overdoing it with my kids, but I get over it because I understand the way the world works.
Okay.
And so,
yes, I played Street Fighter, of course.
But then how you ain't know who E Honda was?
Get a name. Listen, I got babies older than you, man.
No, you don't. Man, you are 2 years apart. Come on.
It feels like it, all right? Feels like it. All right, LaJoy says my passions are what I already do. LOL, education and medical field. Okay. All right. I thought most engineering was part of the trades. So I'll say this, like my son did a lot of robotics. I don't see a lot of people talking about robotics.
No.
Most of the people that are doing robotics that went to school with them are going to school for engineering. And so I think it depends on where you're at and how people look at things. That's
our sister Tracy, rest her soul, she went to school for engineering.
Yeah. Our unprepared children a generation thing. Oh, yes, it is. I'm Gen X, and we know numbers, letters, colors, etc. before kindergarten. Family encourage education at every level.
It's definitely a generational thing.
Yep. All right, the same way these kids are playing football.
Exactly. That's the point that I was making, Lorraine. Like whatever you want them to do, my thing is, if they do not have an easily identifiable skill, you should give it to them before they turn 9 years old.
So, I always have a question, right? We got major Pop Warner football, baseball leagues a lot of times. Why don't we have more chess leagues? I know we got some of the schools, but
chess was the thing that actually got me out my neighborhood.
But we don't have them at the same scale we have with football.
No, we don't.
I always wonder why. What do y'all think? Is it me?
The first trip I ever went on outside of school was actually a chess tournament.
All right, so LaJoy says build habits with cultivating their interests, not yours. I think steers you forward as a parent to facilitate what the kiddos want to do. I like to connect creative arts to math and science, and as making it into a game as well.
I don't believe any of that. But man, that's my wife, but I don't believe any of that.
Okay. What up, Nicole? How you doing? The Honey Hustler is in the building. All right, I think we got through all the comments. We still got to give away some Bitcoin, y'all. Can somebody help us with, Jamel, can you help us? How many sets are we looking at? Bitcoin has been getting beat up a little bit, y'all. I don't know if any of y'all lost the faith. Seeing all kind of weird stuff going out here in these streets.
Every 3 years, people lose the faith, man. Once we start going through the cycle, and then they want to buy when Bitcoin is near the top. It's still good.
Okay, Sims is saying, I'm not saying you can't be an engineer with some hands-on, with more hands-on or lean. Catches on and does handsy work.
Way better than he does faster to school. So that's how my brother was as a kid. Like, so when I say my brother dropped out of school at 16, it wasn't because he couldn't do the schoolwork. It's because he wanted to work with his hands. And so that's why he became the neighborhood barber. Like, he just couldn't focus in school because nothing in school was holding his attention hard enough for him to do it. And my mom told him, like, flat out, if you drop out of school, you got to find a way to pay rent. And then I told you at 16, my brother was making more money than my mother.
Gotcha.
Like, it's so not because it's meaningful, but because, that was the conversation they had. Because she wanted me to be there for that conversation, just to know that, if you drop out of school, the day you drop out is the day you start paying rent.
It's like I'm setting standards. There's a new sheriff in that town. What was your mama's name?
Kimberly.
There's a new sheriff in town. Her name's Kimberly, folks.
Yeah, she's like, look, you drop out. The day you drop out is the day you start paying rent. You were grown up at that point. And my brother was like, all right, I got it. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So Jamel gave us the sats report. So $25 equals 28,010 sats. Bitcoin right now is sitting at $89,307. All right. It's down. Let's see. What is it? It's down about 4.5% year to date. So people are freaking out because it was up to, 121? And then now they think, they thought they were rich, they were done, and now they're panicking. But they do the same thing with all assets. When
they don't understand that Bitcoin is cyclical. It's a cycle.
But all assets are cyclical and all assets are cycles. So I don't understand why people get so caught up in it. Either you believe in it or you don't.
Exactly.
It's that simple. It's that simple. All right, reading, writing, and so on. It's a fight for us to get through. But hand that boy a hammer, and he is locked in for hours. Okay. Hand him some Legos. The boy is building a little city.
That's easily identifiable, and you could cultivate that. I'm not saying he shouldn't be able to read and write, but what I'm saying is that if that's his groove, and now you understand what he's into, then that is where your focus and cultivation should be. You see what I'm saying? Like, as a parent, if you easily identify that, that's the point that I was making about having an easily identifiable skill. You see what I'm saying? If you have a child with an easily identifiable skill, then you cultivate that. But what I was saying is, like, Floyd Mayweather, he didn't have any easily identifiable skills. His pop gave him the boxing skill when he turned 4 years old. He had him in a ring.
So you mean punching people in the face isn't an easily identifiable skill?
Not at 4 years old.
He was punching people in the face at 2.
What I'm saying is having an easily identifiable skill.
Relax.
My thing is Serena and Richard Williams didn't know how to play tennis at all.
No, he taught us so. Yeah.
He didn't know how to play tennis at all. But he created the 2 best women's tennis players in history.
Have fun. All right, Lorraine says, one of my nephews is an aeronautical engineer, and it required a degree. Yep. What up, KL? How you doing? I will also say is we homeschool. Okay.
So now it's easier for you to identify because you with them all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what he just says. Our kids, so we work with a lot closer than most parents, so we can spot that earlier and better. And that goes to parenting, which is what the other people in the chat have been saying. If you're parenting your children, then you can easily identify this stuff.
All right, so as we wrap up, we need a hashtag, y'all. What y'all got? What's y'all suggestions? Corey, what do you think? What should the hashtag be? And while we're for that, I want to say thank you to Cedric for the $4 super chat. I want to say thank you to Dina for the $9 super chat. And I want to say thank you to Ray Guns for the $2 super chat. Salutes to you all. Thank you all
Salute.
for being great.
What's better for the black community? I would say hashtag education.
No, hashtag ABCs. I think that should win it. Because that's at the foundation and root of it all.
All of it.
What up, man?
All right. So since y'all my community, I'm gonna give y'all all the sauce, and I'm gonna give y'all this for free. Since y'all watch. I'm gonna give you all the sauce.
All right, go ahead. Let it rip.
There's two things that are very important to the development of your child that will take your child. Well, three things. One is the environment they're raised in. Caring adults are the determining factor for growth as far as academic growth. The biggest determining factor isn't parenting. It isn't any of those things. It's caring adults in that child's life. Two, reading is the foundational skill for every single thing that you're going to do. There's no career that you can do that you shouldn't be able to read. The only career that you can do that you can't read is boxing, and that's getting punched in the face, but you still won't be able to do your contracts and stuff, and you might get taken advantage of like Mike Tyson. And three, you need to teach your kids how to wait for things. You cannot having patience is something that you can teach your kids. You cannot allow your kids to rush things. You have to give them foundational patience, because if they have patience, then they'll think in decades and they won't think just for the moment. You know what I mean? Okay. So those are my three things that I gave you. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta teach them how to read. Reading is the foundational skill for all of that.
Okay. All right. So keep y'all hashtag recommendations coming. We got ABCs, we got careers, parenting skills, career choice. Don Johnson's in the building. What up, Don? Don says don't let college. Hashtag don't let college. Hashtag self-care. All right, Jarrell, you've been hanging around Jimmy and Corey too long. I see what's going on here, man.
Yo, that hashtag is vicious, and I love it.
All right. Anthony says, it's like late Nate, the
real education.
Thank you for the $1.90 with that, brother. Appreciate you.
That's funny as shit too.
Brandy, what up, Brandy? What up, squad? I'm about to say Yizzo taking a break from this Diddy docu-series. You got caught in the trap.
Yeah, she got caught in the I ain't
gonna lie. Yeah. All these clips floating around, you got people like going back quoting you got a brother out there quoting the court case and asking 50 why he didn't talk about when Puff took his girl and was paying for his son. Then you got other people talking about it's just so much going on right now. I'm on Puff and 50 Cent overload right now. By the way,
this is why I don't do social media heavy, and I'm not watching that docu-series.
I'm not watching, but I think 50 is probably the most pettiest man on this earth. But he does it for a reason, and it's all profit motivated. So that's why I find it hilarious, because he don't give a damn. I don't know.
Profiteering off of somebody's pain is part of the reason why we in the situation we in. And he's not just profiteering off of Puffy's malicious activity. There's also victims on the other side of the stuff that Puffy was doing that he's profiting off of. So
yeah, but I think he's doing it because he's out of vendetta against Puffy for a mighty long time.
Oh, forever. Because Puffy was smashing his girl into little pieces and all the stuff that we were just talking about.
Yeah, and then there was some other things Ebro brought up about how
Puffy tried to recruit him. He said really the beef stemmed from how Puffy tried to recruit him, and he talking about taking him shopping like he was his girl.
But also, and blackballed when he did How to Rob many years ago also.
Yeah.
All right, so Brandy says, Corey, you spitting, so you got a co-sign for Brandy.
I mean, me and Brandy work together, and she know exactly what I'm talking about. She worked with the babies too. So
okay. All right. Adrian says libraries are still free and have lots of programs. All right. So listen, y'all, we need this hashtag so we can do this Bitcoin giveaway. We have 28,000 sats at risk. Y'all need to get that money, that free chicken. Let's go.
All right. Choose one of them hashtags, Kamari.
Why I got to do it? Why I got to do it?
All right. Because I'm going to go through the comments while you choose the hashtag.
I already said it. Listen, hashtag ABCs to be is the hashtag. But
all right. Well, then let's do that.
Everest College hashtag.
Yo, that is hilarious.
Well, I don't know what college is. What's that?
Everest College is one of them TV joints that they come on at 3:00 in the morning and tell you to go to Everest College.
Right.
Feel stuck, don't know what to do.
All right. Never let my schooling interfere with my education.
Facts on facts, Don.
Hashtag it takes a village. All right. I think that's it right there. It takes a village. Can't go wrong with that. Watch it. Tracy would have been all over it.
I agree with that.
Absolutely. I refuse to watch it. Make sure your kids can read instead of worrying about Diddy. Ooh. That's part of the problem. We have a lot of hero worship going on or celebrity worship going on. And I don't understand it. I don't get it, but it is what it is. And we've always needed diversion because that's what it is. It's a form of diversion. We've had that since the days of Africa. And so it is what it is. Hashtag education. ICDC. I don't know what ICDC is. All right, hashtag ABCs. All right. So that's the only one I got two. ABCD. All right, so I'll take that as an ABCs count. All right.
So you're sitting on your couch with no job. That's how the average. That's how the Jones start. It's 3 a.m. and you're sitting on your couch with no job. Join us at Everett College.
Fitty is
Yes,
mad.
Everett College was sued because it was straight up fake. All right, come on. Is it ABCs or it takes a village?
Hashtag. I'm gonna say ABCs.
ABCs. All right.
ABC.
So,
we're gonna do the D too. D's.
ABCDs. Come on, man. You gotta choose because they're gonna be putting the hashtag in there.
All right. ABCs. ABC is easy as 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's see. All right, here we go. Let me set it up. And by the way, so this is our first broadcast since the holiday. Again, I want to say I'm super thankful for y'all. I really enjoy our conversations, even though we don't always agree. Y'all be thinking. So I appreciate that more than anything else. We don't necessarily always have to agree, but we do all think. And I think that's all that matters. We just got
there's plenty of people in here that make comments that I don't agree with, but I understand that they have a perspective and they've become, and they're coming with that perspective, and I'm with it. You know what I mean? Like that's how you have intellectual conversations because people coming from different, experiences and backgrounds get to have that conversation, and then that's how we, get it together.
And I mean, here's the other thing too, right? I need y'all to be courageous for sharing y'all ideas, right? Because that's how we become better too. We don't get by you being milquetoast and scared about sharing your ideas. So popular, just share it out. I mean, I told you I hang out with town at 3:00 in the morning, and I wasn't scared about that, man.
You wilding, bro. Like you better clip that too.
Why I need to clip it?
Because you talk about hanging out in Chinatown at 3 a.m.
Listen, man. And my previous newspaper.
See, my son think it's funny. Like, what you doing in Chinatown at 3:00?
Listen, in my previous life, right, I delivered newspapers, right? I had to drive Uber. I had to feed my family, man.
All right, then say that though. See, this is what I'm saying. You be saying stuff without no context.
You don't need context.
That's how we ended up with the clip last time when you talk about service and people moms when you become a barber. That's how we with that clip. Because you won't be having no context and stuff. You just said I was in you. If you ever go to Chinatown at 3 a.m. and you just left it there.
This is the problem.
With no context.
But this is the problem. This is the problem. I'll tell you what the problem is right now. You ain't got no faith in me. So you think
I don't have no faith in any man that talk about being in Chinatown at 3 a.m. without no context. No, I do not have any faith in you. I'm not gonna lie. No. Absolutely the hell not. No, I do not. That is not what my education has taught me. My education has not taught me to have faith in men that end up in Chinatown at 3 a.m. So no, I'm sorry, Kamar.
Listen, man, I could be going through a leisurely scroll.
Ain't nothing leisurely about a stroll through Chinatown at 3 a.m., bro.
Very peaceful. I mean, there's some unsheltered people and house people there, but not a whole lot of crime. All right, so listen, we got 15 entries. The hashtag is BCs.
They're killing you in the comments, bro.
So you can win an opportunity to win 28,000 sats. All right. And if you don't know what a sat is, it is one piece of a Bitcoin. All right.
Oh man. Click on the bottom. Click on the
from Chinatown, handing out college funds, scholarships, and fortune cookies.
Yo, he is killing
Disrespectful.
Yo, absolutely. That is nefarious work right there.
Man, I like fortune. I like fortune.
Yeah, that is absolutely nefarious work right there. Jigga is wild.
I like fortune cookies, man. I like fortune.
All right, absolutely nefarious work.
We got 15 in. We got 15 in. And listen, I'm not going to wait on y'all, so we just going to draw.
Oh, man.
3, 2, 1 now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Now, if I win, I get to keep the money. Oh, that was close.
Oh, look at the wife.
I don't know if that's legitimate.
What you mean? How is it not legitimate?
Oh, cannot win.
Oh, I mean, well then
You're winning. I don't know what do y'all say? What do y'all say? In all fairness, what do y'all say? Because I don't want nobody.
She's won before. She won like 10 times before.
Oh, really? I never saw that.
Yeah.
Brandy, did you put the hashtag in? Did you put the hashtag in, Brandy?
She ain't see her name, so.
All right, so listen, we'll do this. So LaJoy won. We will do one more.
We'll do another one. Don't leave yet, y'all.
Do not leave. Let's go. So $25 to LaJoy and $25 in Bitcoin goes to Brandy.
See, you just said you wasn't in there.
Yo, I think Brandy rigged that somehow. How did you do that? I think she talked to Elon Musk to rig our system. How did she say, yo, my name didn't come up, then her name comes up?
Right?
How did she do that? How did she do that?
It must be Teachers Win Sats night because both of these women
are teachers.
Teachers Win Sats night.
Now, hold on. I think we have an idea, though. I think Jigga just gave us an idea. We're all right, so Jigga said LaJoy is cool. She's up there with Don and Lifetime Sats. So we need to come up with a Lifetime Sats leaderboard. So
man, you know how many shows we done did, bro? This would be like 7 years in, man.
We got to go back and do the knowledge. Got to do the knowledge. Listen,
all right.
And then see, because we know Greg, because thank God Greg didn't jump in today, because Greg fell on the whole pot a lot of times. So we got Brandy, but congratulations to you, Brandy. Congratulations to you, LaJoy.
Y'all have to be in the village, and y'all have to put your
address,
your Bitcoin address in the email or in the village.
You got to put it in the village. Well, no, everybody has to put it in the village.
No, I'm saying you gotta either put it in the comments or you gotta put it in an email in the village. But
Yeah.
either way, it has to end up in the village.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's got to be in the village. That is a fact. Yes, you teach the ABCs. Shout outs to you.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout outs to you.
Anthony said Brandy pulled a Chauncey Billups. She called her shot. She called her shot.
Shout outs to you, Brandy. Shout outs to you. All right, everybody. So listen, we appreciate everybody that's here. We got a special guest in the building. Where Yusuf go? He was with us for a large
Right here. He ain't going nowhere.
All right, so Yusuf's in the building. All right, so listen, we had a great time, great conversation. Listen, I encourage all of us as a community, conversation with your family. It's the holiday time. College versus trade school. What's best? And it's not even about taking a side. It's really about having the conversation, seeing what we need. Are we even thinking about what we need? Are we thinking about what's best for our baby? So, start to have this conversation, y'all. Have this conversation. Until the next time, we will see y'all soon. Y'all be great. Have a great night.